everyone, welcome back to another episode of Tastefully Balanced. I'm Miriam, and I know I say this every single episode, but I'm especially excited about showing you these dupes. So I am making Girl Scout cookie Samoa dupes. Now this is perfect for when you want to have these cookies, but you can't find them anymore because the season's over. So if you like dupe videos, please subscribe and keep watching. All right, welcome back. So the first step we want to do is create that shortbread round cookie that sits on the bottom. So to do that, you need to actually chill your dough for about an hour in the fridge. So I want to get started with that. I have some butter that I'm going to add to my stand mixer. And to that, I'm just going to add a little bit of sugar and then just cream this together. All right, so while that is going, I have a little bit of flour here with a little bit of baking soda and salt. Just gonna mix that up. And then once my butter and sugar are creamed, I'm just gonna add this in little increments. All right, so that looks good. Now I'm just gonna add my flour in little increments. Okay, so now I'm just gonna add a little bit of milk. And a little bit of vanilla extract. Then I'm just gonna wait for it to all come together and I'll show you what's next. All right, so that looks perfect. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and take this out. And then over here to my right, I have saran wrap that I've laid out. And that's just gonna help me chill my dough, because this does need to go in the fridge for at least an hour. Okay, and then I will show you what's next. All right, so I pulled out the dough from the fridge and I let it warm up in my hands for a little bit so I can work with it easily. So what I'm gonna do is just take a clean surface, put some dough on it, and then roll this out to about 1/8 inch. And I have this really handy dandy roller that basically you put little discs at the end, and it basically helps with rolling out dough evenly. So you just want to roll this to about 1/8 inch of thickness. Okay, so that looks good. Next, I have this O cookie cutter that works perfectly for this. It gives you that same shape as a Samoa cookie would be. So basically you can see it like that, and then if I pull it out, there you go. And I have a Silpat lined baking tray, and so I'm just going to go ahead and fill this tray up, pop it in the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes at 350 degrees, and then I'll show you what's next. All right, so while the cookies are in the oven, I'm gonna create that caramel coconut topping. So right in front of me, I have a little bit of coconut shreds that I'm just gonna toast up on medium. And you wanna constantly stir this because it'll burn in a second. So I will show you when it looks good. Okay guys, that looks perfect. I did forget to mention these were unsweetened coconut flakes. So now I'm just gonna take this off the heat and put it in a bowl. And then we're gonna work on that caramel sauce next. All right, next we're gonna make that caramel sauce that goes all over the coconut. So in front of me, I have caramel bits. You can find this in the baking section. To it, I'm gonna add a little bit of milk and a tiny bit of salt. And then I'm just gonna wait until this gets all nice and melted. And I have a double broiler again, and what that is just hot water on the bottom boiling, and then on top of it is just a bowl that has whatever you're trying to melt. All right, that looks perfect. So now what I'm gonna do is I've pulled out my cookies from the oven and they've completely cooled down. I'm gonna put first a layer of caramel. So I'm gonna take some of that sauce that I have, and be warned, this is gonna be a little messy. You're just going to kind of layer one of the cookies at a time with a layer of caramel, and this makes it easier to kind of adhere the coconut mixture later. Okay, and you just keep doing that. All right, so now that I have put on a caramel layer, what you're gonna do is take that coconut that we've toasted up and add a little bit of caramel to it. So I'm just gonna try to use my spatula here and add caramel. And you wanna use up the rest of it. Let's mix this all up. And then we're just gonna top each of the cookie with this mixture. Okay, and I'm just gonna use my hands. So, be careful because it is a little bit hot. This is a little tricky to do, but get it as best as you can around each of the cookies. So, just like that. All right, so all the cookies are done. Now what I'm doing in my double broiler is melting some dark chocolate. So the Samoas have a chocolate bottom, so we want to dip every one of those cookies in this and also drizzle on top. So I'm just gonna melt my chocolate. And I did add a little bit of coconut oil to this chocolate just to give it a shine. All right. The chocolate is nice and melted, so now what I'm gonna do next is take each of these cookies, and I have some rubber tongs that makes it easier. So you just take a cookie like this, dump just the bottom, try very hard just to do the bottom in chocolate, place it back on your wire rack, and let it cool down. And then after that, what you're gonna do is just take a little bit of chocolate and drizzle. And you can be as generous as you want. All right, guys, does that not look like a Samoa to you? Okay, I'm gonna just continue doing this to all of the cookies, and I will show you the end results. All right, guys, look how amazing these cookies look. I cannot get over how much they look like Samoas. This is my, ultimate favorite Girl Scout cookies. I have a guilty pleasure and I always buy a box, but these aren't the best for you. So definitely a splurge. So my favorite part, you should ideally let this cool until the chocolate settles. But I can't wait, so I'm gonna go ahead and try one. So let's go ahead and try this one. See, it's the chocolate's still really melted, so ideally probably wanna wait, but. Oh my gosh, guys. These taste exactly like Samoas, except for like a dark chocolate version, so. Oh my gosh, so good. So if you like dupe videos, please comment, share, like, and subscribe. And as always, live life tastefully balanced. I have a